Hi, Tim McGuire here from Pointman and SWRemote, and we've got another new release that just came out, version 4.3.18, and it's got some great features in there that have been asked for a while that you're really going to appreciate, and a couple of efficiencies for the techs, things to make doing their jobs in the field easier. So let's take a look at all of these. The first big change that you're going to see is that we've now added the ability for you to run project management jobs through SWRemote. So your technicians who are assigned to those project jobs are going to be able to run their timestamps, view the customer information through the remote device like they would for a normal job, but without having to do any of the invoicing. So as a quick little overview, when we're talking about project management jobs, we're talking about long-term phased projects. Now, if you don't have this available to you in SWR 21, it has to be activated. There's no cost for it, but it does have to be turned on. This isn't for a 1 or 2 day installation job. These are for longer new construction projects and commercial jobs. Now, I've already got a project set up here, and I'm going to go ahead into one of the phases, and each of these phases has a job associated with it. I'm going to open this up, and one of my jobs is already out here. I've got appointments already scheduled, one for the 27th, one for the 28th of February. I'm going to jump into my dispatch board, and I'm going to move this down to my technician, and I'll take a look then at how we go ahead and run this appointment through SWRemote. So let's get that on my guy's schedule. So this is assigned to Terry. Let's go and take a look at how we run it in remote. As you can see, the job that I assigned to my technician in the dispatch is here on my device, and I'm going to select it like I would any other job. Now it tells me here that you're not set as the primary tech on this call. It says you won't be able to edit or view the invoice. That's really going to be the case with any project job, so you can simply click OK to that. And now we can run this like any other sort of job. We have the directions. We're going to use the button in the lower right-hand corner to dispatch ourselves. We're currently en route to the job, so we are not marked as arriving on site until we move past the en route screen. So we're going to again go to the lower right-hand corner, and again from here I can actually get into the customer. If I need to review any of the information about their account, see the information about the job itself, anything of that sort, I've got the information here. We can go back and return to the assignment and indicate that we've arrived on site. So I'm in the arrive screen at this point. I'm going to go ahead and click that button in the lower right-hand corner one more time, and this is what's actually going to complete my punch of being on the job. So there's a couple of clicks between dispatch and arrival. Now I've got my time punch that says that I'm on the clock working on the job. And when I'm finished, we're just going to simply click Complete Assignment. We're going to change the call status if necessary. I'm going to leave today as completed. There's actually other days of work that have to be done. I'm going to go ahead and hit complete. And we're all set. Now, really important here. Again, there's a little bit of a different workflow here because we don't have to work through the invoice and getting our signatures and all the rest. So just watch your labels at the top, using your button to move yourself through the job, and it's going to be punching those timestamps right along the way. Now, the next feature that we've added is an ability for your technicians to see the visit notes that go along with the maintenance visits on a maintenance agreement. Now, before they could see the visits, they could associate them with jobs. However, they didn't see those notes. And these notes can be pretty important because they're giving additional instructions to the technician in the field that are going to help them to do this work more efficiently and to make sure that they have the right materials. Now, these notes will be available both from the customer search and when a technician is on an appointment and selecting the visit itself, so they'll see those. But if you don't know how to add these visit notes, let me just give you a quick look. I'm in an agreement here that I have for a customer, and what we're going to do is we're going to record this information in the visits area. I've got notes on both of these already, so I've got an AC and an AH visit, or an annual cooling or an annual heating. The annual cooling visit, I've just got a quick little note to make sure to check the connections outside. The annual heating visit tells us that the furnace requires two 20 by 20 filters. Now, if you have not been recording notes on your agreements, there is a way to go in and add this information on the agreement itself. If you go into the visits area and right-click, there's an option here to modify the visit schedule. Now, this is what you would use if you were going to change the months in which you're promising the visit to the customer. But I can also use this to update the notes. So I can select the visit that I want to update the notes for. The notes will appear down below. I'm going to indicate this is a note. Now, to save that, I'm going to need to right-click in this area. I'm going to save my visit changes. And I have to do one more thing. I need to right-click again, and because there's a general ledger effect to the maintenance agreement visits themselves, the number of visits and the dollar amounts associated with them, we have to post the visit schedule changes. So there are 2 steps, modifying and then saving twice. Now, let's run through a job, and you'll see those notes as part of the customer's record. So I'm on a job here now that actually has a customer with a maintenance agreement, and I want to show you those notes and how I can view those notes both from the customer's history and information, and how I'm going to see that information when I'm actually doing the maintenance agreement visit. So first and foremost, I'm going to go down to my customer, and then when I go into the agreements area of the customer, we'll see here we've got the agreement listed, and you're going to see the visit notes for the next due visit. So the customer that we looked at back in SWRe had 2 visits per year on that particular maintenance agreement. You're going to see the visit notes for the next upcoming visit due. When I do go to do the invoicing and select from the list of visits to be able to add it to the invoice, I will see the notes for each of those. All right. So let me work my way through this, and we'll get ourselves to the point where we're building the invoice, and let me show you that next step. So I'm going to go ahead and indicate here that I've arrived, and it's going to pull up my invoice screen. Now, this job itself was actually to perform a maintenance agreement visit. So I'm going to go ahead and click on visit. And you can see here that the visits are listed. Now, I've only got one visit type, so that's why we see the same notes on each one. But I'm performing this June of 2020 annual heat and cool. So I'm going to select that and add it to my invoice. Now, this is going to give me a great opportunity to show you another little efficiency that we've added. When you are running your jobs and you go ahead and add parts to the different work that you've done, we've added an ability now for you to see those descriptions and make this work a little bit easier. So let's jump ahead to that. So I've moved past presenting the invoice to my customer, getting their signature, and I'm at the point now where I can go ahead and add notes to the job, and I can identify my parts. Now, this is an important part of every job. If your techs aren't doing this, if you're a tech and you're not doing this, you need to be performing this function. It does 2 very important things. It completes the job costing, so you're going to have a more accurate representation of your margins on your jobs, and it's going to give you some great reporting where you can go ahead and have the parts ready for that truck the next day, even if you're not using inventory. So I'm going to go into parts. This is going to bring up every task that's listed on the invoice. I'm going to select, and from here I can go and search for the individual parts that I used. I'm going to click add. And I use 2 filters here. They were both pleated filters, so I'm going to search for pleat. And I'm going to grab the first filter. It was a 20 by 20 by 1. And here's the change here. We're actually seeing the description here. When we would go back and look at these previously, we'd see the item number, we'd see the quantity, but the description wasn't visible, and that was making it a little bit harder on the techs. So I'm going to save that. Now I'm going to grab the 5-inch filter as well and add that to the job. Now, both of these are going to be sent back into SWRe and show up on the job costing side or the back of the invoice. Hopefully you found that helpful. If you did, like the video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You'll find all sorts of great videos, walkthroughs, and hey, if you're an office person, an admin, share these videos. This one, the one that we did about the Dropbox integration, share them with your technicians. Show them the changes that we're making to make their job easier. Thanks, and again, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the video, and we have a Facebook page, SWRemote User Group. Go ahead and join that. You'll be put in contact with us. You'll see all of our updates as we're putting them out, and we'd love to hear from you. Have a good one.